All right, test, test. All right, what's up, Hopog High School community? Welcome to another day of our high school morning show. Got a little bit different format here. Super excited. I think you're on the present mode, so you should see all of us. Everybody on the call, just give a quick wave. They're looking at all of us. You see a lot of pink shirts. They're the Footloose shirts. And it's for the cast. You might say, Mr. Cook, why do you have one? Well, because I was a cast member. Very important role. But I was a cast member. I'm proud to have the shirt in particular. But we have them on today because we've been talking a little bit with some of the members of the cast and some of the staff members who were charged with creating and leading the work that was done for Footloose. And we wanted to bring them on because it was really the last major school function that we had before we shut down. And in truth, I think there were some things leading up to it that that were a little nerve-wracking, and really brought people on to kind of to share their experiences related to participating in the show, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna have everybody jump on, say hello, and then we'll go into it. So, Angelica, if you want to start us off, your name, your grade, and then the role that you played in Footloose.
Okay, hi, I'm Angelica. I'm a senior and I played Earlene.
Angelina.
I'm Angelina. I'm a senior and I played Rusty.
Nice. Mrs. Cavuto, I guess it makes sense for you to come on and talk about, your role within the play and what that looks like.
Okay. Good morning, guys. Mrs. Cavuto here, and I was the choreographer of Footloose.
Nice. Mrs. Goldbaum.
Good morning, Miss G here. I did the vocal prep for Footloose.
Dennis.
Hi, my name is Dennis. I'm a junior, and I played Bickle.
Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm a junior, and I played Ariel.
Got it. Elise.
Hi, I'm Elise. I'm a senior, and I was in ensemble.
Haley.
Hi, I'm Haley. I'm a senior, and I played Lulu and featured dancer.
Nice. Isabella.
Hi, I'm Isabella. I'm a senior, and I played Wendy Jo.
Yeah. J-Dubs, what was your experience?
Hello, Hopog. Good morning. I was not in the play, but I did watch it. Excellent. My favorite character was Mr. Cook's sheriff character.
What's up, James? Maria, did you see the play? Were you able to see the play this year? No? All right. Christy, did you see the play? Which night did you go to?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My microphone wasn't working.
No problem.
I did not see the play. However, I was by the dressing rooms watching the amazing changing costumes and how quickly and how organized and functional and awesome it was.
Yeah, I'm realizing that staff members who are there don't necessarily get to experience the full-on thing, but you get a different insight to it. So that's my first realization of that. That's makes a lot of sense. Rose, what about you?
Hi, I'm Rose. I'm a senior, and I played By Moore.
Ruthie, who are you? What do you do?
Nothing. Well, and I'm not going to say that I'm a senior, but yeah. So I am the director of Footloose, the fortunate woman who gets to spend all this time with all these wonderful people.
Excellent. Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom Festa. I'm a senior this year, and I played Willard Hewitt.
Nice. And Vincent.
Good morning, everyone. I am Vincent, and I played Ren.
Excellent.
Oh, and I'm a junior.
All right. So before we get into it, because we're doing the whole, everybody's kind of seeing everything right now, because I think this crew is pretty incredible, and I might go back and forth between sharing and not sharing as we ask specific questions. But this is like an extraordinarily experienced group related to theater, drama, musical productions. Can you think through for yourself and just hold up the number of productions that you've participated in at Hopog High School? And if you haven't seen it, if you're one of the APs, how many you've seen, and then if you're one of the staff, I don't know, do something like this for the number of ones that you've participated in, but go for a number of performances that you've performed in. Wow. So we got 6 and 6. So the juniors, some of the juniors at 6. Cavuto, double hands. Golden Bomb, double hands. Ruthie just swirling her hands. Pretty tremendous. Rose, 8. Isabella, 8. All right. So keep your hand up in the air for just a second if you've done 8. Okay, great. We're going to use this. So we'll go Angelina, Haley, Isabella, Rose answering this question. What was the pre-production of this program like? And, how did this prep for this play in particular compare to other things that you've been in? So we'll start with Angelina. I think I said Isabella and Rose, and I said one other person. Raise your hand. Who else did I say? Haley. Okay, so we'll Angelina, Haley, Isabella, Rose. Go for it.
Yeah, every show is like different. So for this one, it was a lot more involved, I think, for like the whole cast than like other shows we've done, which was like an interesting experience because like we hadn't done that where it was like everyone's in everything, like in a long time.
Yeah. It just felt like the stage was full the whole night. Haley.
Similar to what Angie said, like, yeah, it was a lot more like everyone involved in a lot of numbers because a lot of the numbers were ensemble based. So it was nice to like work with a lot of underclassmen and people like I wouldn't normally talk to outside of the show. So it's nice to like cooperate with other grades, and it was fun.
Excellent. Isabella.
Yeah, bouncing off that, definitely a lot of work and a lot more communication just because I think this was probably one of the biggest shows, at least that like I've done out of mine. And there was like a lot more communication based stuff and a lot of like obviously movement and that type of stuff. So there's a lot of that going on. And it was difficult, but like it was great. So
Rose.
Yeah, it was a lot of work for everyone, but I think this one was just probably the most fun just because the show is so fun and I feel like everyone just was so excited to come to rehearsal every day.
Now, Tom, you didn't have as many of your fingers in the air because I think you are a senior, but you haven't been involved maybe as long as some of these others. Talk to me about what it was like for you and your involvement this year. What was the experience of the pre-production work? Go for it.
Yeah, I was in the past few years. I've been involved in Pitt, and I did a show my freshman year, but I haven't really been involved that much. And I don't know, everyone this year, since there was no trumpet part for the Pitt, they kind of just accepted me and really helped me out here. And like it was the most nerve-wracking thing, but I had all these great people to help me out, and it really like went smoother than I could have ever hoped for.
Nice. I think this particular community is really special. That the idea of like, yeah, we just welcomed. They accepted me and they supported me. That's awesome. All right, so here's what I have for a timeline. And I'm curious then to ask a couple people. Maybe we'll go Katie and Vincent and Dennis on this next question. The musical was set to have its opening night on March 6th. And then its second night on March 7th. And we shut down school officially on the 13th. But there had been a lot of buzz around, what we are experiencing now and some fear that was trickling in. I'm just curious, do you even remember having a thought related to the two kind of being simultaneously, or did you think that this would be the last kind of major event of the school year in terms of in-person student activity? How did COVID weigh on this experience at all, if at all? And everybody's frozen, so we'll see what happens. Dennis, are you there?
I'm here.
All right, go for it. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So I think personally, I didn't really think it was gonna affect us because when you're working so hard for so many months, you sort of get this tunnel vision and you have to look for that final push and that it has to happen and has to happen. So personally, I didn't think that it was gonna affect us, but as school, we started getting a lot of chatter about other schools closing. I think it became more imminent that it could possibly happen. And I know a lot of schools did lose their productions, and that's really unfortunate.
Yeah. Vincent, what about you? And then I'll go to Katie.
Well, Dennis pretty much hit it right on the nose for me. I know for me and like others didn't feel like there was any pressure pressing down on us because of COVID-19 or anything like that. At that time, the way the climate was, we were just we were free, thankfully, free to not worry about it, and also free to just do the work that we need to do to get the production that we could hope.
Katie, what about you?
I completely agree with both Dennis and Vincent. Going into the show, I honestly, I did not have any concerns about COVID affecting our show. And it wasn't really until the weeks after that I started seeing the aftermath of my other friends from other schools, their productions getting shut down, that I realized how fortunate we were to have our show the last weekend that it could have possibly been.
Got it. So other schools on Long Island, you guys are more attuned to the scene. Other schools, I guess, they did all the pre-work and then didn't have their shows. Is that what happened? Can maybe anybody speak to that specifically? Elise, go for it.
So coming from Plainview, and I have a lot of friends in Plainview, they were doing Newsies, and they have a way longer rehearsal process. They do it since December and then their show is in April. And it was a dance heavy show. It was the biggest show that they've ever done. Dance heavy and all that. And now, and they even were doing Zoom rehearsals because they thought that everything was going to open up, but sadly they did not have the show.
Wow. All right. And then, so I'm going to share a little bit on my thoughts, but I do want to ask this question because we get a magnitude of how lucky we were for so many people. First, I thought both nights were pretty packed in terms of the audience. I don't know. I haven't seen enough shows to know that's to be true, but maybe Carolyn or Catherine or Ruthie could jump in. It felt like we had a pretty good crowd for both nights. What will be your perspectives on that?
Yeah, this was definitely a more packed audience than we have some years. Usually we have large audiences, but the size of the cast, along with people's recognition, the name recognition of Footloose, people know the show and we're so excited about the music and stuff. So yeah, it was a larger audience.
Yeah. And when do you give out the shirts? Because then I think I'm going to own something here. When do you give out the shirts? I'm really asking because I forget, but it was around the time, right before the show, I think.
Yeah, 2 days before, and this year it was part of the costume. So, actually, we might have given it out a little bit earlier this year, maybe 3 or 4 days before, so we could use it for the costume changes at the end for the big mega mix.
Got it. So let's just call that maybe. I watched students walk in to school on March 3rd, I think, with the shirts. And my first reaction was a selfish one, which is, where's my shirt? That was my first reaction, okay? And my second reaction was, oh my gosh, these kids are so close to being ready, and we're going to have to cancel this weekend. That was my second in the moment reaction of, this isn't going to happen. They're going to have worked so hard and gotten so close, and this isn't going to happen. So Katie, Vincent, Dennis, I appreciate that it didn't impact your preparation at all. That's good. Good to have blinders on when you're readying. But 100%, I thought that we were going to cancel that weekend. And if you look at it, you got in by 4 days being able to do this, because if we had canceled school the Friday before, it's canceled. So you lucked out pretty dramatically and then did an excellent work. So talk to me about this transition and the performance itself. People have spoken to me about how awesome the performance itself was. So maybe we'll have Vincent, Rose, Katie, and Angelica answer this question. What was it like to experience this show as a performer, the Friday and Saturday night? And then we'll pivot to talk about the aftermath and your reflections back on it. So we'll go Vincent, Rose, Katie, and Angelica. Go for it, Vincent.
Well, performing is just such an exciting thing to do, and this show in particular, working with Tom on stage, there's a lot of moments I remember distinctly of just feeling very present and laughing together, but laughing genuinely. And I think that the real connection that all the members of this cast had is what helped make this show even more special.
Great. Rose, what about you?
I didn't think that, I wasn't sure that it would be canceled, but I did a few days before the show be I don't see this being a good thing. Like, I definitely knew, something was gonna like, things were gonna be canceled soon. So I knew since that and that it was gonna be my senior show, my last show, like, I just knew that, I was gonna savor every single moment, and, like, I did, and just both nights, I just, like, totally let myself go and, like, appreciated the people around me in every moment, and honestly, like, it was just so beautiful. The whole experience was so beautiful.
Cool. Katie.
Hi, I think it's even really cool in retrospect, like looking at Footloose as a show, because it's a bunch of kids coming together and banding together to do something that they're not supposed to do, and find like, knowing that, a week later we would be out of school for what would end up being the rest of the school year. It's kind of cool to see that like our last hurrah was a bunch of kids banding together to do something really, really cool.
No, that's cool. Good reflection. Angelica.
Just like everybody said, it's really exciting to just perform on a stage, and just the cast, we got really close, I feel like, than in other casts. It was just really fun to just perform together and be on stage, and
Excellent. Now, so I came both nights and brought a different kid each night, different one of my own children each night. And on the second night, Mike was like, all right, we got through the first night. And I had brought my daughter the night before. She actually sat with Sadie Pincus. Thank you, Sadie, and congratulations, Sadie. And there's a story there that we won't tell. But anyway, so Sunday or the Saturday comes, and I'm there with my son Coleman. And the pre-production stuff, I like just like being in the auditorium before. And there was good energy. But now I'm going to ask Ruthie and Carolyn and Catherine to talk a little bit about, it seems like, and I don't, maybe if you want to just say no, don't talk about this, but it seems like there's a special tradition before the final show, and that's really moving for the people that participate in the tradition. Ruthie, is it okay if you can talk a little bit about what that tradition is? No?
Sure.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, you just tell me, we can cut this part out if you're not.
No. I mean, the
Okay.
senior speeches. Are you referring to the
Yeah,
senior speeches?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it's a really special time. The cast and the crew and everyone comes together, and the seniors, this is last show, and it's particularly poignant on the musical. We also do it on the drama, but it gives seniors an opportunity to reflect, and maybe pass on some of their advice to underclassmen, and it's a chance to really honor the hard work that they put in and what the theater program has done, for their 4 years, as well as what they've contributed for the 4 years. Kathy and Carolyn could probably speak to that as well.
The kids are also very sweet, and they give us, as the teachers, some recognition and thanks to us, and little thoughtful gifts, which is very sweet. It's nice to have that moment with them as well.
Cool.
I always love to hear what they take away from the 4 years being in the high school shows. And some of the things that they remember and share are just beautiful. And funny too. Some are very funny.
Yeah. Seniors, can you raise your hand a little bit so I make sure I got all of you right? Just raise your hand. So I got you. Elise, Haley, Isabella, Angelina, Angelica, Rose, Tom, right? Got it. Okay. All right. So now here's what I saw. So I don't go down and watch all of it, but people come out and there's kids just crying everywhere about like what a powerful experience it was to hear it. Like everywhere I walk in, I'm sitting there with my son. He's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Nothing. I don't think anything. I think we're just having a really nice moment." And then the performance begins, and then when was the moment? And some of you have talked about this already. And I'll come back and we're going to end with seniors to kind of give a final shout out to the people on this call and whomever else they want to give a call. But like, I'd be curious if people want to jump in and maybe raise your hand if you want to participate in this question. Like, when was the moment that you were like, oh my gosh, that was really an incredibly special experience. And I'm so grateful to have that. So I got Dennis and Elise and Haley, Angelica. We'll go in that order. So Dennis, Elise, Haley, Angelica. Go for it, Dennis.
Okay, so personally, we finished the finale, the big Footloose, and we get lights up, lights down. And then, we sort of run back and the curtains close, and, people think that everything's dying down. But really, we're all changing into these fabulous shirts, and we all sort of get into formation, and the curtain is still closed. And personally, for me, it was just, you know, looking at the curtains open, looking at the entire audience before the lights, you know, blind you for a second, and just taking in that this is happening, this is great, this is family, and it's an amazing experience.
Got it. Elise, go for it.
I don't know if Miss Pincus, you remember this, but it was opening night and we were doing one of our little rituals, and I was standing right next to you holding your hand, and I think I was holding Haley's hand or whoever else. And I was just bawling because Pincus just gave like the best speech I've ever heard her give after like giving us our special little present. And I was just bawling, and you're supposed to bawl on the closing night, but I was overcome with emotion. I was like, I have found my home. And like everyone was like, you're not supposed to cry, don't cry. And then Pincus just like looked at me and she was like, you're okay. You could stop now. And then everyone was making fun of me when I was going up, and little did I know the next night they were bawling the same way. So I think that I was just overcome with so much joy and so much warmth, and I just felt everyone be one at the same time, and it was amazing.
Nice. Beautiful. Haley.
Similar to Dennis, how like he was describing like what we would call like the mega mix, which is kind of just like a combination of a lot of the songs throughout the show towards the end. There was this moment where like the lights went up and you could see everyone in the aisles and in the audience, and they're all like clapping along to us singing, which was really like, it was really cool. And then like towards the end of the number, I had Bella and Angelica right next to me, and like we were all crying by like screaming, everybody cut Footloose, and the cannons went off with the confetti, and that's really like, by that time, like we were all like sobbing, which was like really moving.
Good. Angelica.
Like, oh, I'm gonna cry. Like Haley said, the mega mix, it really hit different this second night because it was like, you know, the last time, and seeing everybody in the audience like get so excited, and like some people started dancing in the audience. I don't know, but it was so cute just to see, and then everybody started getting all emotional. It was really, it was just, you know, it was so good.
Good. Good. All right. So this question, I'm going to put seniors on the spot a little bit, and I don't, you know, you don't feel like there's too much pressure on the answer. I just want you to organically answer it. But seniors, if you look back, and we'll go Angelica, Angelina, Tom, Isabella, Elise, Haley, Rose. That's kind of, I think, the order we'll go in. And your spring has kind of been a little bit of a mess, right? So as seniors, this hasn't been the ideal spring situation. But but a huge culminating event for you got to have in a way that a lot of other seniors didn't get to have. And so I imagine there's some like gratefulness there too. So when I say that, and even as I'm saying, I got like a little bit of chills over me, like that's like a really interesting experience, right? And just like reflect on that a little bit. And actually, Angelica, if you're ready to roll again, I know we just had you almost in tears ready to go, but if you're ready to roll back into it and talk a little bit about it, you know, as a senior, what is now your thinking related to this experience and the connection to the experience afterwards as well? And Angelica, go for it.
I'm really happy that we got to do Footloose because, you know, I feel really bad for like people in other schools who their musical got cut short, or just like, you know, kids in our grade who didn't get to have their sports season and stuff. Like, it really sucks, but I'm glad that I know a lot of kids went to go see this, and like that we all were in it. So it's just, you know, it was a nice ending point for just the whole school. That's really what it feels like.
Yeah. Angelina, what about you?
Well, for me, it's always been like there's like the first half of the year, and then there's musical season, and then there's the end of the year. So it was kind of like we ended, and it was like I had already reached an end in like a season-ish. So it was like easier to get through what was happening.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you had that. Elise.
Obviously I wanted a normal end to my senior year, but this having the musical and having Footloose as a musical on top of that, it put me in perspective to be very grateful that I had a great senior experience. It's not going to be the normal one that I had, but it's great that I had a normal musical experience to kind of end it off in a bang, sort of.
Yeah. Haley.
What I am very grateful for is like I really don't remember the last day of classes we had. I remember sitting in math with Angelica and Bella thinking we only had a 4-day weekend and getting really excited about that. And then as soon as we know we're not back at school at all. But it's so nice to have this experience so close to our ending points to look back on, because theater is something that I know all of us really value. And I can proudly say that it is one of the most opening, magical clubs in the whole school. And it's really nice to have that to so close to your last experience of landing in high school, which is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Isabella.
It was definitely a huge aspect of closure for me, and it was very, very mentally grounding because it put me in more of a headspace geared towards gratitude and that type of stuff, because obviously when there's so much raining down on you and affecting you with this whole thing, it's good to just look back on the positives and sort of reflect in the positives so that you can keep your spirits uplifted. And obviously, we all have contact and we all share this memory together, so it was just nice.
Nice. Tom.
Yeah, this was amazing. I couldn't ask for anything better. I really didn't know what was going on. I was just kind of absorbing it as it went. But I just remember the people that I don't really talk to that much, after the fact were congratulating me. And it was just weird because I'm not I was never used to that. I was always I was either something small or I was in the pit. So it was kind of background. And it was really great to have this happen and just meet all these people and get close with them.
Beautiful. Rose.
Throughout high school, I'd say for people in drama club, your senior year musical is just the peak of everything. It's the thing you look forward to for forever. And I just think that it was so refreshing. It was so renewing for relationships with people and just friendships, and it was just so beautiful. It was beautiful. That's it. That's all I could say.
Nice. And Rose, I'll circle back to you in a second to talk to you or kind of set you up, because I think you're going to have a chance to do something pretty special too soon. So Dennis and Katie and Vincent, I think I have the underclassmen here. Is there a closing thought you want to say? And why don't we go Dennis, Katie, Vincent, to kind of close it out to the seniors on the call, or just the other people that were in the production. And then we'll kind of close with giving everybody a chance to give a shout out to close out the meeting. But Dennis, go for it. Jump in.
So for the seniors in general, it's really emotional for them. And when you witness all of the crying, sometimes it stems from the underclassmen, because sometimes the seniors try to put on a brave face because, they have to go out in public and get their pictures taken. But we really form a family, and it's hard to, let someone go and because you're not going to see them for a while. So that's that. And then for the entire cast, it's such a big accomplishment because we're in the auditorium, 4 days a week, we're working late, and it's really rewarding and fulfilling.
Nice. Katie, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's exactly sunk in for me yet that next year, whenever we come back, I'm not going to have these people beside me, because, even when I was in 7th grade and they were in 8th grade during Bye Bye Birdie, then they all graduated to the high school. I knew that as soon as I got to the high school, they would be there. But this time, as soon as they leave, they're not just going to come back. They'll come back, but they're not, it's not going to be the same. So I don't really know if that's hit me yet, but, I'm so grateful that this was the class that was right above me, and I've made so many amazing friends and so many amazing memories, and I'm gonna miss you guys. I love you guys.
Nice. Vincent, what about you, bud?
Yeah, like Katie said, this is a very special group. I feel like it always is. because like the groups kind of raise each other as they go up, and also because it's different probably for Katie, Dennis, and I, because we are now so close to this grade. So always in the past it feels like, oh, they're so old, but now it's like they're not as old now, which is an interesting experience, but also you know, just things change.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And then before we go to the shout outs, I'm excited to have a chance to hear from Rose one more time. And as we put together our programming and our graduation, we're not going to ask you to spill the beans on what's going on, Rose, but I'm excited about having a chance to hear you perform one more time as we turn to the final preparations for graduation, and then put some of those thinkings out. But I think we're gonna try to have a really high quality production value to what we do. And Rose, I'm super excited about it.
Yay, I'm excited too.
Good. And nervous at all? Do you get nervous? I mean, you've been in so many of these things. Like, do you still get nervous? What's the deal there?
Yeah, I do a little bit, but more excitement than anything.
Yeah, cool. And I'm so impressed with how you guys each talked about that. The word present, I think, came up, or the word just like being, like, you know, more or less kind of like being in the now was talked about, and just on, you know, knowing where you were in a special place and time. The maturity level on this call is out of this world. You guys really get a sense of what's important. All right, so we will round with a final shout out. And it's the same prompt as always, which you could give a shout out to anyone. Oftentimes people feel compelled when I say that to give a shout out to frontline workers and people outside of HOPOG, but I want to authorize you to, if you want to give a shout out to people on this call or other people associated with the production of Footloose, please know nobody's judging you for making that choice. So go for it. Give a shout out to whomever, wherever you want to give a shout out to. We'll start at the top and we'll just kind of roll down through the call and finish up that way. So Angelica.
Okay, I want to shout out, and this is going to be weird, like all the clubs I'm affiliated with, and so I'm like 4. It's like Chamber Choir, Tri-M, Drama Club, and Adaptive Aquatics. I just want to like shout out all of them because they're all great. So yay!
Yeah, nice. Angelina.
Shout out to Drama Club for making what I had of senior year pretty special.
Beautiful. Carolyn.
Shout out to the full cast of Footloose, all 70 plus kids who made this a really special production and were such a joy to work with. Woohoo!
Yep. Catherine.
Well, I double what Ms. Cavuto said, but also I'm really grateful to, I can't see most of you, but I can hear you, and I'm really grateful to hear the voices of the students on this call, and the seniors in particular. You will be really missed. And it's so wonderful to hear you reflect on your experience with this show. Thank you.
Got it. Dennis.
Like Angelica said, shout out to all the clubs who are adapting to the online format, especially Drama Club. You know, it's been great to, you know, just step back from school and just talk with a bunch of friends.
Cool. Katie.
Shout out to the senior class. I said it before, but I'll say it again. I love you guys so much, and it's not going to be the same without you guys next year. But I'm glad that we got to go out with a bang, even though the school year kind of ended on a different note.
Elise.
Shout out to everyone on this call because they're some of my closest friends and some of my favorite teachers. So I just love everyone.
Beautiful. Haley.
Shout out to the cast of Footloose and my friend Jake Mooney. I really miss you all a lot.
Nice. Isabella.
Shout out to all the teachers and administrators who are just checking in with everyone because it makes a huge impact, more than y'all know. And yeah, shout out to the cast of Footloose and everybody here. I wish y'all the best. And yeah.
Cool. J Dubs.
So I just want to give a quick shout out to everyone on this call for giving us a really positive way to kind of end the school year this year, physically.
Yes. Christy.
Hi, I just want to give a shout out to everyone on this call, all of the seniors. Listening to you talk and the emotion, and many of you started to kind of get choked up. And not that I really want to see kids cry, but it's nice to see how connected we felt to each other, and that you still have this connection even in this pandemic. So I hope you all have a great senior year and senior experience. I'm glad that you guys got to get that play in because it was absolutely amazing.
Yes, Rose.
I just want to give a shout out to Miss Goldenbaum, Miss Cavuto, and Miss Pincus, and just all of the drama club for this year. It was just such an amazing group of people, and I'm so thankful for it.
Cool. Ruthie.
I want to give a shout out to first my colleagues that helped me, that make this whole thing happen. They're really pretty terrific, and we're blessed to have one another to work with. And a shout out, obviously, to the cast and the crew, our stage crew, and our fabulous pit, and everybody that kind of supports what goes on, in front of the curtain that people don't often see or acknowledge. And just to the entire drama club, because you guys rock. You're the best. That's it.
Thank you. Tom.
Yeah, it has to go to just full cast, everyone, like crew. The amount of hours they put in behind the scenes is just unbelievable. Like they put more work than so many people into this show, and they really do work the butts off.
Yeah. Vincent.
Shout out to the middle schoolers and middle schoolers who are in the musical, because I know many of us, and the majority of us on this call, that's where we all were before we got to high school. And it's a very special program that we have, not just at the high school, but also trickles down to the middle school. So shout out to them.
Very nice. And I think reflecting on this conversation, but more broadly, like I'm so grateful that the excellence embedded in this program just is transferable to our entire community. And there were 70 people in the cast. I think I counted in upwards of 125 students overall participating in this production, which is 10% of our student population, or more than 10% of our student population, which is just an extraordinary number. You're sitting in a class with 30 students, 3 of the kids are going to be in the production. Like, it's pretty incredible, the volume. And then there were so many students who came to watch, and the parents and the community members who just feel so connected to Hauppauge through this, which is just one element of our arts and finding performing arts expression. It's really something special to see from the outside, to participate a little bit from the inside. And I'm just so grateful and really pretty moved by a lot of what you guys said today. And I'm so thankful that you guys had the ability to pull this off, because there were many moments where I was like, I don't think this is happening, and what kind of disappointment. And then to hear you reflect and have the gratitude related to it, and know that many of your peers didn't have the same experiences in their spaces of passion, whether it's sports or whatever other events that would have finished the year, to just have you have the maturity to reflect that that you got something special is really just impressive to see as well. So kudos to you guys in so many ways. Thank you for jumping on the call. And we are May 28th, so less than a month left in the entirety of the school year. Seniors, I know there's a lot of worry and trepidation about how we're going to finish off the year. I promise there's some very special things planned to kind of offer really important moments as you wind down, and stay present as much as you can as we wind this down, because it is a very unique time, a unique experience, and try to find the positives where you can. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you.
That was fun. That was good.
Why didn't you wear
Yeah,
the outfit for the meeting?
What's that?